Welcome to Bay Cities FC, where we will become the professional club of choice for the next great generation of top NorCal youth players. We're committed to building a team that is infused with the diverse DNA of our community. Winning is paramount, but never forgetting our roots is our rallying cry. Help us bridge the Bay. What is going on, soccer fans? Welcome to Bridge the Bay. We are your hosts. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Calysta Tyree.
And we are so excited for you guys to be joining us today as we get you guys prepared and prepped for this weekend's action. Believe it or not, we have a real match, and it's actually really cool. Calysta, why don't you tell them a little bit about what's going on Saturday at Sequoia High School?
Yeah, so Saturday it's not the most official 2022 season, but Bay Cities is officially doing and playing in its first NISA event, the NISA Independent Cup, playing in the Pacific region. We're super excited to see it go down starting this Saturday against Cal Victory at Sequoia High School.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. But hey, let's talk about how we got here. So we've had a few warm-up matches as a club to get us geared up, to get us prepped for this competition. In fact, we actually had a matchup against our first team that we're playing. But back on June 6th, we played YASA at Sequoia, and we walked away with a 2-0 victory that match. But then the next weekend on June 13th, we played Cal Victory, and it looked like we were going to walk away with it. We scored. We were pressing, we were playing really well, and they scored on a counterattack to go 1-1 at halftime. Second half's a little different story. We scored quick, but what was the difference, you think, in that matchup heading into this matchup coming on July 10th?
Yeah, I think it's all just chemistry building right now. Everybody knows, even like outside, news articles are writing that we're a very new team. Everybody knows it, and it's kind of being shown throughout our first couple of games. With Jasa, I feel like the team maybe they all knew each other against like their rivals. I know that a bunch of the players said that they know the players locally, and then it just kind of keeps building. Like with Cal Victory, I don't think they were really prepared to have a caliber of an opponent, but now they know who they are. They know who we are. And it's going to be really exciting to see this rematch. I know Matthew Wesley, our goalkeeper here at Bay Cities, was just like, we figured it out really quickly in that second half after we got that goal, and they're excited to get this rematch going.
Well, it should be interesting. I mean, you go down 1-0, go into halftime, come out and score within 40 seconds of the second half to really create and put some pressure on Cal Victory. Again, 1-1 in your final score for that one. But then this last matchup we played, we actually stepped up. I don't want to say we stepped up the competition, but we definitely did play a higher caliber team in Project 510, which was a different matchup. You didn't get to make that because you got to go on vacation for a little bit, but yeah, that matchup in and of itself was a really good matchup. We scored early. The match ended 4-2, but it wasn't an indication of how the team played. I think a lot of what was happening as a team was they're just trying to find ways to work out of the back, control the midfield. And that game was a little bit of a higher caliber. I don't know if the legs were ready for it, but they played well. They gave away a couple cheap goals, but in the end, 4-2 to get us ready. But that's not the only thing happening on Saturday. Yes, we'll talk a little bit more about the NISA Independent Cup, or as it's known as the National Independent Soccer Association. But we also have a women's game starting at 1 p.m. That was just announced. Hasn't even been announced, I don't think, but we're given the information. You want to give some info on that?
Yeah, so we honestly just got this information yesterday, the front office did, but here at Bay Cities, we're really trying to equalize the playing field. All these new women's leagues are starting up along the men's professional side. We have the USL starting the W, and then the NISA with the WISL. And Bay Cities is really trying to get in there. Like we have our team. We're kind of just seeing where we're going to fit in right now. But what we see is just like we're having a very hard time finding opponents, unfortunately. Nobody's like really willing to play. I don't know if it's post-pandemic problems or just like no fields. I don't know what it is. Like there has to be some type of urgency though getting into this women's game because we're ready to play. The women on our side, they're ready to go and they're super excited. They're growing as a team. They're still practicing every other week. You know what I mean? So it should be interesting. They're playing Deanza Force U19 ECL again. which was a great matchup for them. I feel like at this basic level, on Bay Cities, we have literally all levels of players from high school to junior college, and then players that play at the Division I level. So it should be interesting to see this matchup again. And like I said, our teams are already replaying these teams. So it should be interesting to see.
It should be interesting. There's so many opportunities and places to go play from, even in California. You know, the WPSL, the UWS, there's other leagues too that provide it. I talked to Jason a couple weeks ago, who is the head coach for the women's team, and he had a lot of great things to say about these women as they're growing, right? You have high school players, you have college players, and they're coming to play for him, and his style is completely different than what they're used to. So he's trying to put his mark on the club. It'll be interesting to see what happens later this summer or even in the fall if we're able to get more matches. But not just a game at 1 p.m. at Sequoia High School or a game at 5 p.m., but between the two, we actually have a community event starting at 4 p.m. That should be pretty cool. I think DJs, there's going to be some target practice, the Velcro ball, bounce houses maybe, and food trucks. So lots of cool things happening. So make sure you're out at the match. Again, gates will open probably around 4:45 for the 5 p.m. kickoff, but you're not gonna just sit around and do nothing. There's a lot to do in Redwood City. In fact, there's a lot of local eateries too. So at 1 p.m., the women play, but between that and the 4 p.m. community event, check out downtown Redwood City and see if there's a place that you want to eat.
Yeah, and I'm super excited. We're really trying to focus on this community event, a little activity tailgate type of situation right before the men's game. We really just think that our fan base is starting to grow here at Bay Cities. So we want to just bring everybody together as quickly as possible to kind of just meet everybody. Like, let's just get united. Like when we sit on the stands and we all cheer together. So I think it's just the theme of unity and just bridge the Bay. You know what I mean?
That's all you can do, especially in this time. We're coming back from COVID and everybody's starting to get more and more comfortable. So come out, support your team, bring some of those, what do we call them? Goal sticks.
Yeah.
We can't call them what they are, but the goal sticks, the things that go and blow off smoke. So bring those out. You're going to see a few goals. Again, 5 p.m. kickoff for the NISA Independent Cup. But let's talk a little bit about this Independent Cup. It started last year. This year, 54 matches in 4 weeks. That is insane. You have...
It's crazy. Like, I've never really seen anything like that in NISA. I've watched a bunch of the other cups, but I just love the idea of all these new teams, or everybody's kind of just starting off right now and going into 2022. And this is just going to be like a little appetizer.
Yeah. I mean, you've got some great clubs. You've got Detroit City. You've got Livonia. You've got FC Buffalo, Lone Star Republic. You've got a handful of teams throughout the country who are high caliber, top profile teams. And it just so happens that we got stuck in the Pacific Division. So the return to play will happen all month of July and into August. 36 clubs playing 9 regions across the country. It's going to be kind of a cool format. We have at least one club from 8 different amateur leagues throughout the U.S. And then also 9 clubs that are petitioned or looking to join NISA in 2022. We at Bay Cities happen to be one of those teams. So we're really excited. There's a lot going on as it relates to this opportunity in this competition. I think it will be good. One of our teams that we will be playing against is known as Space United. I don't know if you know anything about Space United, Calysta, but Space United started in 2014 as it started off as Space X FC. It's a soccer team up in the Seattle area, diverse community. They've actually played in several tournaments, the Aerospace Games, the Adidas tournament. They had an EA Sports tournament. And then most recently, in 2019, they played in the South Bay Sports League where they won the championship. So they've played well. They've been in tournaments, so they know what it's asking. And we actually have a match with them at home July 24th. That should be a great matchup. Of the 3 games we're playing, only one is away, and that one is in Portland against PDX. That should be a great matchup too. I think we need to make it up for that place. That's going to happen. They started in 2017. Luke Babson, who's an assistant coach at Western Oregon, and Max Babson, who's a producer for BN, which also hosts a lot of the NISA games. And in fact, network. They play in the USL2, which is a nice league. They got a Portland Timbers U23 team, and they're second place to them right now. So that should be fun to watch. But what excites you this weekend going forward for this July 10th matchup, again, a return matchup, I should say, against Cal Victory?
I think our team of players, we're getting players coming in new and returning from these past couple of scrimmages that we had. So I think the level is varying. There's some players that have already played pro, and there's players that are going in at it for their first time, their first game as a pro athlete. So it's just super excited to see what they put together. I think we have a very special team of players that they're going to be able to put something together. And this club specifically is literally embodying the theme of the Bay Area. And I think that that is something huge that a lot of the players that are homegrown athletes are taking to heart, and they want to represent against all these. We're not playing against anybody in California, I don't think. So it's going to be super huge for them to represent the areas that they come from and then just show their different levels of talent. So this weekend is definitely going to kick that off. I think there's going to be a new like spark in them for some reason. Like I'm hoping, but I believe that they'll just bring something new to the table, new level of intensity. So, more chemistry on the field, definitely, to try to get that first win under the belt. I think people are kind of just thinking, because we're brand new, we're kind of petitioning still, we're not going to have much to bring, but they're in for a surprise.
Yeah, surprise or not, you've got Miguel Guerrero, excellent midfielder. You've got John Pardita, who has played in NISA recently with the LA Force, the LA Force. Mm-hmm. So you have all of these things, and they're both local. They're both local talents. In fact, John went to San Jose State University. And so what do you know about them as they join the club and get ready for this NISA Independent Cup?
Yeah, so Jonathan Partita, star player at San Jose State University, also played for the San Jose Earthquakes growing up in local Bay Area. He is Bay Area child, full through and through. He always talks about it like when he's interviewed, like the Bay Area like literally made who I am today. So he's definitely somebody that everybody needs to look out for. He's going to be the face, the captain of this Bay Cities FC team. So he's a great player. Miguel Guerrero, super, literally homegrown, grew up probably down the street. I think he grew up down the street from the stadium that Bay Cities calls home. And he's just thrilled. He's excited. We have some media coming out on him hopefully soon in the next couple of days. So stay tuned to that. But he just describes playing professional soccer in his hometown as a dream come true. It wasn't an easy journey for him, but he's here and he's ready to get started. And he's super hopeful about the team. He's such a talented player, and he's just ready to see what this team can produce.
Again, tickets still on sale. BayCitiesFC.com. Get those tickets. I believe they're giving it's a 50% discount on tickets of 4 or more. So if you bundle those tickets, you get a discount. But please make sure you're there for not just the 5 p.m. NISA Independent Cup game that takes place at 5 p.m. against Cal Victory, but please also make sure you're there for the women who play at 1 p.m. as well. But that's not the only game. Again, July 17th, we have a matchup against PDX. And then July 24th, Space United comes to town, which could be a really good matchup and a future rivalry of sorts that could happen in NISA if that ever if both teams make it into that realm. Yeah. But before everybody go, what else should they be ready for, or should we know about heading into Saturday's match and just making sure we're there and proud as we
definitely head to our website, baycitiesfc.com. Get your gear ready, get your Sharpies out. The players love to sign autographs, love to meet the kids. All the youth teams in the local area, they love coming out to the games. We just want to invite everybody, especially the peninsula. We're making the peninsula our home, the people of the peninsula. So definitely get your gear ready, get your voices ready to go to cheer on our boys. But we're super excited. And like Jonathan said, please come out and support our women's team as the women's game in our country is on the rise, and you do not want to miss it happening here locally in your backyard.
Even against De Anza Force, who's a really good competitive program in the Bay Area, a well-established group of girls who are going to be big-time players coming up. And so make sure you come out to see the future, because the future is bright of soccer in the Bay Area. So, hey, I think that's good. I think we've covered everything. But again, Saturday, July 10th, Cal Victory, 5 p.m. at Sequoia High School. Make sure you're there to join us for that match. We have the women's game is at 1. It's free, so come out at 1. Stick around for the men's NISA debut at 5 p.m. Thank you for the input there, Don. Appreciate it. So hey, that's all we've got. We wish everybody the best. We look forward to seeing everybody out Saturday, 5 p.m. Actually, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. It's free. Make sure you're there. So 1 p.m. We'll see everybody soon. Cheers, everyone.
Thanks.